All right, thank you guys for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock with Queen City Newsfeed, and today we have a very special segment where I'm joined by Kathryn Dreifuss. She is a senior at Savannah College of Art and Design, and she's working on a capstone film project, and that project is called Whispers from the Woods. So, Kathryn, can you talk to me a little bit about what this project is, and just kind of summarize what the film is for our viewers here?
Yeah, so this project is my senior capstone, as you said. So for Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta, Georgia, we have to do a final film project. And I wanted to do a project that was native, and so I could bring my nativeness into a film that I wanted to do. And so this project is basically about this elder woman who has spent her life believing an old tale about the Bokpuli, which are mischievous little spirits that lure children into the woods. And so they took her younger sister, Beth, when she was like 13, and then going to present time, basically history repeats itself. And then Nettie's granddaughter has been taken. And so she has to like find her way and confront the past and uncover the truth about what's really happening in her community.
Okay, and I want to dive into that, but real quick, I want to back up a little bit. Can you tell the viewers where you're from and how this is relevant to them?
Yes, so I'm from Philadelphia, Mississippi. I live on the reservation of Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, and I went to Neshoba Central High School, and I did a lot of videos from doing that, and then I interned with Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, doing a lot of video work for them as well.
Awesome. So video work and film projects and stuff, you've been doing this for a long time. When did that kind of start for you?
It basically started in middle school. I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to be in front of a camera, being a content creator and all that. Well, I then decided I don't want to be in front of the camera. I like being behind. I like creating stories. I like editing videos that are pretty cool. And so a lot of it was like hype videos and all. And I like seeing the feedback from that. So I then loved movies as well when I was a little kid, and I just wanted to go into film.
I gotcha. Okay, so now let's talk about this film project, Whispers from the Woods. Now, I know that you kind of gave us a brief synopsis of it. When can you talk about the filming process and kind of when you got the idea and the steps you had to take in order to kind of bring this idea to fruition?
So I started talking with my grandmother in like spring of 2025, and it was going into my senior capstone year. So the first quarter is pre-production, and so I talked with my grandmother, and she told me about the Bokpuli, and I wanted to include that and missing and murdered Indigenous women into a story. And so my grandmother sent me stories that have happened to her and friends and family that she knows. And so I just took all that information and I just created a new narrative story that included little pieces of like true culture references, with the Bokpuli being a true tale. And so I did that, and then we went into pre-production. And so for pre-production in class, we had to write the story and we had to get feedback to make it presentable, and then we had to get greenlit to go into production. And then the whole pre-production process was setting up like casting, how the tone of it's going to be, what is it going to look like, getting our crew, finding locations. And then now this year, for this quarter, which is like a 10-week quarter, I'm now in the production process of still fine-tuning our pre-production phase. And now we get into production in a couple of weeks. It's about to be a month of going into production. And then after we're done with production, we can go into post-production and editing the whole film and make a final.
I got you. So obviously you're dealing kind of with mythical people from Choctaw people's, I guess, kind of heritage, their traditions of kind of telling these stories. How can you put that in a film? Like, are you going to have special effects, or is it the way you shoot it? How can you kind of incorporate that?
So what I planned to do was, we're never going to see them. And that's like a little spoiler, is you won't see them. It's more of, you're just going to hear this little whisper that happens in the background. And it's supposed to like highlight, like, going back to throwback movies and older movies, sometimes they would never show the monster, and that would make it scarier. So I decided to do the Bokpoli not being shown at all.
Yeah. So I think that's very kind of a smart tactic, and I do think that a lot of times films these days, when you do see the monster, your brain automatically says like, okay, this isn't real, and it's no longer scary. So I almost think not seeing it is more scary, and I think that is like a very a skillful tactic if you can kind of capture that, and I'm looking forward to kind of see how you guys tackle that. I do want to ask you, so speaking of the Choctaw people being represented in film, do you feel like we've seen enough of that? And the films that we do have you noticed where it's accurate or it's a good representation? I think back to most recently, I know they were featured in the film Sinners. I don't know if you saw that film, but how do you kind of feel about Choctaw people as a whole being represented in film?
I love it. I don't think there's enough of it. There's so many Native references that are in film, but there's not a lot if you think about it. There's so many films that are with other ethnicities, and having more Native films and all is very rewarding and successful. Still, I did see Sinners, and there's so many comments of how people want to know more of the Choctaw people and the hunting of the whole film, which I think there should be, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I think there's not enough of Native voices in film, and I think there should be more.
And so would you say like that's kind of like one of your goals, is to kind of become a filmmaker and kind of be that voice?
Yes, I really do. Being a Choctaw filmmaker, I want to include my culture into films, and that's why every year in college I would at least try to include a project that had my culture into it.
I got you. That's really cool, and I think we need to see more of that. And I love that that you're kind of trying to incorporate that into something you love and kind of blending two worlds that you love. And I do want to ask you, so how old are you, Kathryn?
I am 22. Ooh, I am 21 years old, turning 22 in a couple weeks.
Okay, awesome. So you are a young filmmaker, and I think that that kind of says a lot. I mean, for you to be this age and to already be tackling something like a film project, and then not only that, but even though it is dealing with folklore in a way, it still kind of has like real representation, and it really has it. It sounds like it's tackling, real issues that actually apply to people's lives today. But when people watch this film, and maybe some of them are not familiar with the Choctaw people, maybe they're watching it and they didn't grow up in Mississippi, so they're not super familiar with it. What do you hope people take away from it?
Yeah, so I have like two main audiences, and they're a native audience, and then they're a non-native audience. For my native audience, I want them to feel seen and heard, because this affects them. This is missing and murdered Indigenous people. This affects them, and I want them to not feel silenced. And for my non-native audience, I want them to learn more about what is happening with missing and murdered Indigenous people, and I want them to like be aware of their surroundings. I want them to support and help with everything that happens and bring awareness.
Okay, and speaking of support and help, how can people help and support you and support this film if they want to?
They can check out our social media pages. We have a Facebook and Instagram, and it's just the title of our film. They can share it to their friends, family, coworkers. We're in our campaigning time where we're receiving donations to bring this film to life. And if everybody supports it and shares it, it could get everywhere around the world, and so many people can make this film come to life.
Okay, and I see right here in the first paragraph it says you're working on it October 25th and 26th. Is that when you're shooting it?
Yes, so we come down, so we're in Atlanta. We're gonna drive down to Choctaw, Mississippi, October 23rd, and then we're gonna shoot for 2 days, which is the 24th and 25th, and then we're gonna head back out on Sunday, the 26th.
Okay, I gotcha. And how big is the cast, and like how many people are involved in the production side of it?
For production, our cast is, I think, like 5 or 6 people. I think it's 6 women, and we're having like a full Native women cast. And for our crew right now, from coming to Atlanta to Mississippi, it's about 16 people. And then we're going to have some people who are also from Mississippi helping, being a part of the crew. And that's like a good 5 people.
Okay, and how does that work? Do people from your school come and help you and they tag on to this project? Or have you kind of gathered all these people yourself?
It's a little bit of both. So everybody's trying to learn the film side of everything. So students are wanting to be a part of films that could be successful. And so me and my producer have reached out to so many people. And luckily, there's so many people who do want to be a part of this film and tell the story. And I reached out to people from Mississippi, and there's so many people who do want to help me from there. So it's a big collecting everybody and students who want to be a part of a film.
I got you. And I do want to ask you, for people that are your age or younger and they watch this video and they want to be a filmmaker and they don't know how to quite go about it, what is your advice to those kids?
I think go for it and look up all the videos you can. There's so many videos on YouTube and everything that teaches you about filmmaking and video work. If you have a video program in high school, take it. It's so much fun. I was lucky enough to have a really good teacher in high school who helped me want to do it more. And you will have support, so just go for it in the end.
I got you. And how can people keep up with you? Because I'm sure this won't be your last project. So how can we keep up to date with what you're working on?
Follow me on my social medias. I have Facebook and Instagram. I rarely post, but I post a lot of like work that I've done on there. So it's just more of keeping up with my social media, reaching out to me to see if I have anything coming up, a lot of that.
How do you feel about this upcoming filming date?
Gosh, I feel all the feelings. I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling excited, worried. It's just a lot of emotions that go throughout like filming process. And so everything's just hitting me. And I think once I get into the shooting, I think I'll calm down, but I'll still be nervous because I want this film to be perfect. That's every filmmaker's mindset, is wanting to make a perfect film. And so all the emotions are just coming at me.
And again, Kathryn, I just want to thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have all the information on this on our website, queencitynewsfeed.com, the Queen City Newsfeed Facebook page. We're going to have information on how people can get involved, how they can donate, and of course, how they can keep up with you. And we just thank you for coming on, and we thank all you guys for watching. Again, I'm Cash Matlock with Queen City Newsfeed. I'm joined by Kathryn Dreifuss, and we're talking about her upcoming capstone film, Whispers from the Woods. So thank you guys for joining us.